Well, it seems like Kane doesn't care much about us because we are on the final step in the conquest of Africa and achieving achieving our final goal in this Tiberian Dawn walkthrough and the NOD campaign. And he gives me 2 buggies, 2 light tanks, and an MCV. MCV is obviously a given. I would accept a couple buggies. I would accept a couple light tanks. But to be only given those things is a bit of a travesty. It's a bit of a sham. I'm pretty sure if Kane is able to go on a worldwide conquest, eventually hack into the GDI or the Global Defense Initiative Iron Cannon Control Center, whatever it is, I think we can invest enough money to send me a sufficient attack force. But, you know, that is how RTS games go. They have to fulfill a purpose and be difficult. The games have to be balanced. They have to be challenged, especially the last game of the campaign. So it's not like you're going all along and it's preparing for Gettysburg and you're going to be equipped with this massive force of soldiers, of units. So here we are in the NOD campaign. In the 13th mission, we're going to be taking out GDI for the last time. This is going to be a short one. I just wanted to have this, as I said, I wanted to make my videos a little bit shorter now. They were getting out to be around 20 minutes. So I wanted to break things up a little bit for you guys. And in this one, it's essential that you are paying close attention to detail, okay? So I'll touch on a few things that you want to pay attention to. And just being smart with your economic decisions. Don't be frivolous, don't throw money around. But overall, just don't be overwhelmed by the fact that it's a final mission in a campaign. Don't be, concerned with GDI overrunning you really at any point, because if you take just a couple quick precautions, a couple quick steps as well, you really won't have any issues in dispatching all the GDI's forces. The first things first, though, is obviously get these structures up in order: power plant, hand of NOD, refinery. Make sure you have $200 or $2,000 in order to get that refinery. Extend a little sandbag barrier up to the north a little bit. That'll allow you to put down a turret. Typically, the GDI gunboats do not fire at stationary turrets. They'll fire at vehicles. They'll fire at your con yard. They'll fire at hand of NOD. There's a few structures that they basically have triggers on that they will fire at. Finding the ones that they don't fire at is key, one of them being a NOD turret. So on this side of the map, this is essentially a strip of land that is disconnected from the mainland, so to speak. There are 2 strips of land. The one to the north is also surrounded by water, but is far bigger. It includes 2 GDI bases that are complete with every building you'd expect, complete with a con yard, a war factory, or a weapons factory, a barracks, advanced guard towers, refineries, everything. Okay? And so, upon dealing with those things, man, I'm freaking feeling really weird right now. Freaking dizzy or something. I have no idea. Can like not focus on the screen. I'm dehydrated. But in dealing with them, you just have to cut their resources off pretty soon, pretty early on, and then it's just down to a couple engineer rushes with some transport helicopters that you'll see. What I'm doing right now, on this side of the map, GDI has a small outpost. It includes 4 guard towers, like 25 infantry, a couple vehicles, a refinery, some silos, a power plant, and a barracks. And that's very low in terms of the amount of money that that refinery can hold. So we're going to send in a group of minigunners with those units right there. They do not have a con yard to rebuild buildings on this side of the map. Obviously they could build them wherever they wanted, but it's against the triggers set in place by this game. Get the attention of this northernmost guard tower with your light tank. That'll draw the brunt of the fire. Then you can rush in your minigunners in a little bit. You can send in that other light tank, you might as well. Your NOD buggies, not a huge deal right now. You're predominantly going to be dealing with infantry, but they have quite a few infantry, so it is pretty difficult to deal with all of them. You saw right then an A-10 Warthog came in to strike. Make sure you're sending either a minigunner or you have that turret up there by the bank of the river. That will take the brunt of the fire from those napalm strikes. So it's not a huge deal. There are not as many repercussions if you start attacking that harvester like you would in some other missions. By attacking that harvester, essentially they usually send all their units at you, but because there's a limited amount of units on this side of the map, and this was idiotic on my part, because there's a limited amount of units on this map, you won't get overrun. I simply, when I attack it, I don't do it in order to destroy the harvester. I want to capture it myself. I wanted to draw their units into mine, and it's not going as well as planned right now. They're running over me left and right. Hopefully I can sneak through here. But you can see right there, their forces get whittled down pretty quickly, leaving this base quite empty. There may be a few more units located within this base, but as you can tell, we're doing pretty well in our funds. So we should be able to build a couple engineers and capture the remainder of these buildings. We got one already, and if there's any more stragglers, just build a couple minigunners, send them into the northern part of your base, where GDI will send its units automatically, and snipe out units one by one. Or not snipe out, but take them out one by one. Now you can start plopping down structures within their own base. I recommend putting a hand of NOD down. You can use a flamethrower. Flamethrowers are great against groups of infantry units. They're really only susceptible to grenadiers who have range on the flamethrower, so be careful if you see any of those. But in terms of dealing with minigunners, you can just plop one down, build a couple flamethrowers, $200 a pop, and burn up some minigunner flesh right there. Alright, sweet. Things are going well. You can start putting a power plant down. Advanced power plant, that is. You'll need one anyways for your future tech tree advancements. We don't have enough power right now anyways, and that sucks. So there is another gunboat to the south. When you get the chance, you want to start extending your structures to the south towards the river as well. Not in the secondary base that you just captured, but in your first one. You can extend a sandbag barrier to the south, put a turret down, and then deal with them that way. Alright. So you can use a turret, whatever, if you have one inside their base. Start pecking away at that guard tower. You don't want to deal with that because you're going to need to go north through to engineers to capture the transport helicopter. That is why we wanted to keep that harvester afloat, so we didn't have to worry about building another one. Now we got two, which can become quite a few and almost too many. Later on you'll see why. And right now it's just kind of coasting along. You want to slowly build up engineers, capture some more refineries, take out these guard towers. There's a couple more power plants in this base that you're going to want to capture as well. And so capturing those power plants is still a worthwhile investment for you. 500 versus paying 700 up front to build one, so it's a good trade-off. So I'm going to just save it right now, making these quick short ones as it is to finish up this final mission in this campaign. I'll see you guys next time.